All right, Ben, I'm taking some video for you. This is the opening trail going down to the bluff. That's looking down in the valley. Here's your mom. Oh, easy walking so far. It's rainy and foggy and windy. Probably going to be a miserable day. You should be here. Breaking in our hiking boots and our trekking poles and our backpacks and our raincoats. Like a bunch of freaking newbies out here. I'll accept the title. There's horse poop. We are on the horse trail too. We're probably only like a quarter mile into our hike. Getting a little bit narrower now. Mom is way back there. No one is shocked. Almost looks like there's a little side trail there. I'm not going to take that. Pretty easy so far. Very gradual decline, very wide trail. Now we reached the point in the trail where we are going at a severe downhill angle. I don't know how well you can tell on the camera, but it's not going to be fun coming back. If I had to guess, probably about a 30-degree angle downhill. Say hi, Mom. We'll check back in when we get to the bluff or see something interesting. We just turned right at the crossroads. There's Mom. Heading down to the bluffs where all the crowds of people that we saw parked in the parking lot are hanging out, I'm sure. Parking lot was completely full. Had to go across the street and pay $5 to the quote-unquote secure parking. Hopefully it's actually secure. Nothing in my truck to steal anyway, so. Oh, and Heather, since this is one of your pet peeves, this is the last week of April 2024 on the Centerpoint Trail headed to Big Bluff on the Buffalo River. Rainy, foggy day. What's the weather report? Upper 60s, low 70s, mist.
Misty.
And wind. Very windy. Very windy. It's going to be really windy when we get out on the bluffs here shortly. This says primitive route that way, and I see absolutely nothing going that way. This says no camping or horses beyond this point, because we're about to drop off on the edge of a 500 some odd foot bluff overlooking a bend in the Buffalo River. Seen people walking up there before from the river, but never ventured up this way ourselves. I do have a fear of heights and wet, slippery ledges, so we'll see how this goes. We'll pick it back up when we get to the bluff. Well, it didn't take long to get down to the bluff line, the start of it anyway. Still no views, but I have a feeling we're going to come around the bend here shortly and have some really nice views. We'll wait on Heather. She's a little less sure-footed when it comes to this stuff, so we'll wait on her to take her time. It's almost lunchtime. Get to the bluff and try out our fancy new camping chairs and have some peanut butter and jelly burrito wraps. Mmm. Huh?
Your boots are tearing up.
Your boots are tearing up? Where at?
Both the toes.
Well, damn. Those $5 yard sale boots are gonna
I know.
have to be replaced with some clearance boots from somewhere. Because Mama don't pay full price. We'll check out Sierra or one of those places where I got my boots. Or you can go try some on at the local store and make sure they fit you. Think they're going to survive the hike? I mean, they're just kind of coming loose at the tip there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, if they're not, then I'll switch out and put my other shoes on, but I'm going to wear them until they fall apart.
That's a knock on you, Meryl. We did buy them at a yard sale, but they were brand new in the box. Looked like they'd been worn maybe once. Yeah. These are the red cedar, or I guess properly they're junipers, commonly known as red cedars. They claim that some of these up here on the bluff are 8,000 years old. Excuse me, 800 years old. I got a little excited there. I am narrating for our children. We might put it on YouTube too. These gnarly old cedars don't look like much, but they were here when there were no European people here. Pre-Columbian, pre-Cortez, pre-De Soto, pre all those guys. They were old when they first arrived here. Pretty amazing. Whew, that was a cold drop of water. Someone decided to put the trail right in the drip line. That's convenient.
Keep waiting to see a waterfall.
Huh?
I keep waiting to see a waterfall.
Just giving you something to hold on to.
I'm trying to decide my best way to go.
You can go up and around if you want to. Go up to that little gap there.
Yeah.
It's just a high leg. It's a high leg lift. This would be a good spot for lunch. I'm like, why is water dripping right here, but the bluff overhangs that much? Oh, I see the buffalo, and she is muddy. We crossed earlier and it was clear, but I see canoers, kayakers down there. You can see the river down there. A little muddier here than it was where we crossed before. No. Here's the hole in the rock. Sorry to photobomb you there.
No, you.
Looks like some kind of cave formation there. Drip down from the bluff. If you don't want to try to squeeze through that hole, I think we can go the low route.
I'm trying to squeeze in through. Get my back on the hand, please.
Maybe on the way back. Let's try this on the way in.
Okay.
Hello. Hey there.
He said hello.
Should make you carry your own food in here?
Yeah, sure does.
You keep going. This would be a nice place for lunch, but it's kind of wet today. Like somebody's had a fire under there.
Y'all climbed through the hole?
We did.
All right. This way's got to do the hole.
All right, now we're getting close to the edge. This is where we're super, super diligent about every step we take. It's better to go down there or go down here, but I'm gonna go down right here. Wow, there's a lot of people floating. You mean to check it out and see how it is on this side? It's easier down here if you keep going. Yeah. You got some steps here.
You're doing it. I am. You pretty much arrived, so.
Yeah, we're gonna.
It kind of goes as a bluff, kind of right next to the bluff.
So we're almost to the end, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it gets more and more steep and narrow, so I think it just depends on how much you want to go.
All right.
I think you can tell by looking at us, we're not that adventurous.
You know?
We're gonna keep going down to the river. We're gonna go up to the split and go down to the river and go up and see Granny Henderson's cabin, I guess.
Oh, you can go further and you go up to your
You can go down to the river. It's not very much further down to the river. You go to Jim's Bluff. It's right on the edge of the river, and you can hike up the river a little ways and take a horse trail up to the cabin.
The goat trail hits it, or you go back to this trail?
The Centerpoint trail goes down and hits the river, and then you can take a left at the river, go up the river, and I've never been there, but I've got a map here.
Yeah, yeah.
You're supposed to be able to take the horse trail back up hill to Granny's cabin.
Huh. Is that a lot further, you think? Or?
I don't know. We're gonna find out. I think it adds maybe a mile or two to the trip, but it's a neat cabin, neat story.
Is it?
She lived there, I think, at the turn of the century and with her husband until the 1950s, and then he died, and she lived there by herself for like almost 30 years, and hauled water to her cows from the river. Like, tough old lady, no electricity, no water, two-story cabin.
Wow. Can you get there by a car? Or?
I don't think so. I think it's on a horse trail. You got to hike there or ride a horse. Once you get down to the river, if you ever wanted to camp, we're going to come back and camp sometime probably. You can camp on the river and then just, not today, but on a normal, in the summertime, water levels, you could hike across the river and go a couple miles and you're still at Kyle's Landing, I think, on the river campground. Cool. Y'all enjoy it. Even on a rainy, windy day, the river is full of people on a Saturday.
Oh, geez. Can you see this out here?
See what? The raft? Full of people?
The beach over here.
Oh, the hall out there? The hall out there?
Is that what it is?
Well, that's obviously they all rented those. They're all the same. They're just probably stopping and having a lunch break.
Yeah.
Aside from the muddy water, probably a great day to float.
Yeah, I like that one. That's what I was talking to. I know it's Buffalo.
It's a Saturday on the Buffalo. Enjoy it while you can, because I've heard rumblings. And it's getting so busy, they're going to have to start permitting in the future. It'll be like going to the Grand Canyon. You have to get lucky and get drawn to be able to float or camp.
Some crazy, like, ski jump thing on it.
What do you think, Heather? Lunch spot?
Yeah. I don't even go any farther than that.
Well, it's not about that. I just think this is the view here. Anything beyond this, you're going to start losing the view. And all right, we'll cut this short until we get a picture of Mom going through the hole on the way back for your entertainment purposes.
Why do you think it's gonna be so funny me going through the hole?
You said going through the hole. All right, we enjoyed our lunch at the Bluff under the shelter from the wind, using our fancy camping chairs. Very, very nice. Highly recommend the Nemo Moonlight. If this ends up on YouTube, which I don't know if it will or not, but if it does, check out, is it Out and Back? I'm trying to remember the name of the place. They have lightly used and returned items. Got a pair of these Nemo chairs for 70 bucks a piece, regular 160 if you buy them locally.
All right.
There was some shipping added to that, but it was still a big discount. All right,
Lead the way.
back to the hole. We'll climb through the hole this time. Afternoon. Good. Got the vultures up here at our level, actually below our level. Nice turkey vulture there. See the vultures soaring at our level or below us. Better to circle below you than above you. Heather, I think you went up that way last time. Is there a way up there? Is there a way up right there? It's pretty tall over here. Excuse me. You got it?
Got it.
Okay. Watch that slick.
I'll make sure I'm sure my footing's marked up. Yeah, that's why she was on the short and roll way. She went around and said she.
What's that?
The video where she said she went around the short and roll way. This is what she did.
Why? Oh, because of that big jump there?
That ledge, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's also near the edge.
Yeah. No, I wasn't doing that.
I thought when she was doing that, she was going around the hole up here to go the way we went the first time. Heather, we passed the hole. Yeah. I didn't realize when I went down there that I was taking the route around. Hey there. It's quite entertaining.
What, to watch me have
To watch you clamber through this. Nice.
Not bad.
Do I need to go around and go through so I can say I went through the hole?
Yes.
Well, then you're going to have to hold the camera here.
But so do you.
It's on.
It's on.
Yeah, it's on.
Did you record me going through the hole?
Oh, yeah. You know it.
Didn't fall on my face quite like you wanted me to.
Oh, I didn't want you to fall on your face. What did I do? I want to lay down here. It's on. I never turned it off.
Okay.
The red light's blinking.
Yes?
It's on. Ow. Going to the hole. Oh. Yay. Let me go back that back on and I'll take that from you.
It wasn't quite as difficult as...
No, I thought it was going to be a tighter squeeze than that. There. Okay. Well, we've seen the bluff. We're going to continue our journey downhill to Jim's Bluff and then over to Granny Henderson's cabin. More to come. We're now on the Centerpoint trail, past the turn to the bluffs. Bluffs are awesome, but now we have less people and a much smaller trail headed down to the river and ultimately, hopefully, to Granny Henderson's cabin. I like this trail a lot better. Number one, because right now it's flat. That's not going to last, but it's narrower and there's going to be less people. We'll check back in when we get the river in view. If you go that way, that's the on the river trail. That takes you, I think, probably to the waterfall. We are down near Jim's Bluff now, on the Buffalo River. Just gonna step down here, take a peek at the river, see the folks floating by. Woo! Careful, it's really steep and some loose rocks. There's the buffalo sprinkling on us right now. I think this is Jim's Bluff that we're walking along here. I'm not going to go all the way down to river level. We've got a lot of hiking left to do to get to the cabin and back. We'll sit here for a moment and enjoy the view. We were discussing earlier that river folk tend to be much louder than mountain folk. We've narrowed it down to the access to ice chest and the contents of those ice chests. Got a lot of boat loads upstream of us here, but they're all taking a break. That was an interesting vantage point, looking straight down. They had no idea we were here. Enjoying your plasticky water?
Reminds me of a kid in water hose water.
Huh?
Reminds me of being a kid with water hose water.
Yeah, water hose water. It's a good comparison. See if I can get back up the hill here without falling into poison ivy or knocking a dead tree over.
I'll keep my legs away from whatever.
You're good right there. But it does seem to be everywhere. Alright, we've seen the river. I had no desire to go down to river level, do you?
No.
We'll go back up and take the trail to Granny's cabin.
I think that wash out there just don't go down, but it looks pretty.
Yeah, doesn't look like it'd be fun to come back up.
Oh, anyway, it's fun. It's, again, with the down is.
Yep. Alright.
Here's my
We got Granny Henderson's cabin coming up. It was a very short walk from the river up here, and trail splits off this direction and come around the corner, and there's Granny's cabin. I kind of feel like Hansel and Gretel coming up to a witch's cabin. A really cool siding on it. Hi. I bet that this was her root cellar. Or maybe, I don't know, smokehouse, some kind of outbuilding. It is buried down in the ground some and filled in with trash over the years. Really cool place. I'd like to have been here in the 1970s when she still lived here. Come by and visit.
I bet there were flowers everywhere.
Huh?
I bet there were flowers everywhere.
Yeah. I'm going to attempt to step up on the porch. It looks like these steps have seen better days. Come on, Park Service.
You know, you're looking. You got rocks trying to balance, the rocks are leaning. And everything is.
Centerpoint Road. I'm guessing that's a book. Maybe discusses this place. I don't know. Miss Eva Barnes Henderson. I'm guessing that's Granny Henderson. There's a poem. found in his book titled Centerpoint Road. The book was last seen in Granny's cabin on 3/24/21 in Arkansas PBS Exploring Arkansas, April 2013. So we could look that up. I think I remember seeing the one about Granny's cabin. It's one of Granny's old boots,
Oh, wow.
galoshes. Granny's rules. No horses in front yard. No fires in the front yard. Horses must use hitching posts. Do not tie to trees. No overnight camping in the house. Clean up after yourself. Take everything you bring in, back out. Treat the house with respect. Would think doing nothing else. This looks like an old steering wheel off of something.
Tractor.
Probably a tractor. Could have been the car. Got a lot of, yeah, I didn't see the car.
It's got a tin roof on it, so.
Here's Miss Eva Barnes Henderson, born November 1892, died July 10th, 1979. When I was 4 years old, she married Frank in 1908. There's a picture of her, her dog, and her cow. She does have a rose growing there. She probably did have flowers down here originally.
So she was 16 when she got married?
1892 to 1908. Yeah, she was 16 when she got married, and she died at the age of 80 or late 80s, 87 or so. I think she lived here most of her life. Interesting. Amazing this old place is still standing. I'm assuming the Park Service at some point has at least maintained the roof enough to keep it from completely rotting out.
It was all wood before.
Here's the main room, one of the main rooms with the old stove or the old fireplace, or yeah, old wood burning stove with some kind of fireplace box above it. I bet they have a.
It's soft.
There's a reason that board's there. You stepped right there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Test your weight on everything you step on before you commit to it. Here's your wallpaper. Flowery wallpaper. I bet there was a stove up the second story as well. I don't know what room this would have been. I don't know if she had a dedicated kitchen indoors or if they had an outdoor kitchen. This looks like it was a closet under the stairwell here. Probably just storage of some kind. I'm going to go up the stairs. They're small and narrow like old houses tend to be. I'm honestly surprised this place isn't a haven for bats or other critters. Lots of sketchy floorboards in here.
Yeah.
Put your weight where you see the nails. That's where the support boards are underneath. Yeah, it smells decidedly of poop up here. Animal poop. Kind of smells like a chicken coop. We've got newspapers that used to cover the wall boards here. Trying to see if I can see any dates. There's baby chicks for sale. New Surge milker for milking your cows. The Chrysler 50. Now this is nice right here. Look at this old car. Take a picture of this. Take a picture of that car right there. $750. See it? I don't know that the car was $750.
I bet it was.
Finest of fours. Oh yeah, $750 for a coupe. So that looks every bit like a what, 1930s car?
Yeah.
That's a 100-year-old newspaper.
Dairyman. What's the name of the newspaper? November 1926.
What dairyman?
Ford's Dairyman's name. There's your November 10, 1926.
I'll be damned. The chimney does continue up through here, but it does not appear that they actually had a stove or a fireplace on this level. Got some pretty spongy boards over here. I don't think it's worth continuing over that way.
It took a lot for me to get over here.
I'm going to stick to what I know is somewhat solid.
Where's my flashlight?
Here's the view out the second story, looking over to what I presume is the root cellar. Man, oh man. I wonder how many kids they had. We'll have to look into Granny Henderson's story. I've heard it before, but it's been a long time. Now I'm really interested in the details, now that I can see the actual...
It does smell like...
Yeah, there's definitely animals that live up on this floor, or have in the past. They've accumulated quite a bit of material. The bottom floor seems pretty clean. Doesn't seem like it's covered in raccoon poop or... This part of the floor is a little bit rotted because it's exposed to the weather through this back door. We've got chimney in the center, a back door for each room. Only the main room had the front door access, so I don't know why they would have had two doors coming out the back. I'm sure they had their reasons. I'm going to hike back here a little bit. So there's another outbuilding. The door hinge is still on there. Surprised some jackleg hasn't stole it. I bet you there were a lot of hogs and deer and other things hung from these branches back in the day to skin them.
You want to go to their outbuilding?
I'm gonna go see what this outbuilding is. This is probably where she kept the cow, or her pigs, or her chickens. You always hear the story about her hauling water to her cows to drink. Oh, tripping over barbed wire. Yep. This is probably where she kept her livestock. I bet you she had a milk cow that she had to haul water to. Oh, see a lizard. Lizard on the run. I bet if I turn this tin up, we could probably find some snakes.
Oh, don't do that.
Oh, you're no fun. What do you think? I think this is where she kept Bessie?
Yeah.
Chickens on this side, cow in here. She probably woke up every day at 5, 6 in the morning to come out here to milk her cow.
Mm-hmm. I know she is.
Crazy how spoiled we are. All right, so that's Granny's cabin, Granny Henderson. Pretty cool, a lot closer than we thought it would be. Now we have a wonderful, wonderful, almost 100% uphill hike back out of here to the Centerpoint trailhead at Compton. I don't know how much we'll check in. We'll check in at the end for sure and let you know just how bad it was.
That was a good break.
Would you like to sit down for a minute, or, huh?
No, I was just thinking. If I'm good moving, but not moving, that's fine.
All right. Well, we'll check back in when we return to the trailhead, or if we see anything else interesting. We're on our way out back to the trailhead. We've covered a lot of uphill territory. Sorry, I can't speak. I have oxygen. Up to this point, we're on a relatively flat ridge line right now, but I distinctly remember a very steep, rocky downhill segment not long after we started this morning. Not looking forward to that one, but I think my quads and my leg have reached the numb stage, so not too bad. It's been spitting rain off and on all day. Birds have been actively calling all day. It's lush green vegetation. It honestly feels like a rainforest down here, humidity included. We'll check back in when we reach the dreaded steep segment and see if we can tell how steep that is on video. Right now it's uphill, but it's gradual. 1 foot in front of the other. I think we are ascending the last major hill on the way out. Not too bad at this point. Really am kind of getting numb to it. I think we're going to hit a final ridge line and just be a gradual rise back to the trailhead. But I haven't looked at the map here recently, so I could just be wishful thinking on my part. But I know we've covered a heck of a lot more ground than we have left. Met several people walking in as we're going out. It's almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so they're not going to have a lot of time to enjoy the scene. Oh boy, look at here. Turn the corner and this is what I have to look forward to. This is truly the last slog out of here. I think I mean it this time. I'm going to let Heather catch our breath, and make the final ascent. Looking forward to a greasy hamburger somewhere. We're about halfway up this final slog uphill. It's steep. It's lots of loose cobble, gravel. Highly recommend, if you're older and not in the greatest of shape, bring trekking poles. They're nice going downhill. Give yourself a little extra balance on the slippery spots, and they're nice going uphill to take a little bit of the work off your knees and hips and lower extremities. They've saved my butt a couple times today. I do see light at the end of the tunnel. That's where the trail flattens back out, and it's a gradual rise to the trailhead from that point. They like to torture you at the very end here. But this is great training for what my wife and I want to go do in the next year, which is the rim to rim trail on the Grand Canyon, going down from the north rim back up the south rim. That's more on the order of 23, 24 miles, which we'll break into 2 days. Today's hike has been, I don't know, we went all the way to the river and went to Granny's cabin and did a few side trips, so probably on the order of about 8 miles, I would say, total. One big difference between here and Arizona, the Grand Canyon, is the humidity. It's been raining and foggy all day today. Pretty much 100% humidity. Around low 70s Fahrenheit for temperature. I'm soaking wet, and it's not from the rain. I know you also sweat when you're in the desert in Arizona, but it's just not as miserable because it evaporates so quickly. Easier to get dehydrated, but so much more comfortable. I'll take 110 in the Arizona desert over 90 degrees and humid in the Ozarks any day of the week. My personal preference. Alright. I can definitely see the light now. We're back to the well manicured flat section of the trail. And when I say we, I really mean me. Heather's back there somewhere. I just felt like making this last little push and getting it over with. So I'm gonna sit down on this nice boulder here and wait for her to finish the ascent. And it's a cakewalk from there. I won't film her coming up because she'll get mad at me. She takes a little bit smaller steps than I do. And I can't seem to find that lower gear, so I have a lot of starting and stopping, which is good. I get to rest more. Check back in when we reach the trailhead. Oh, I see the entrance to the trailhead. Heather doesn't believe me. I've been telling her we're almost there for the last 4 miles. But we really are almost there now. Had a nice flat stretch there for a while, but they had to sneak one little last uphill in on us right here at the very, very end of the trail. And we're done. Oh, look. From Big Bluff back to this trailhead, the elevation change is equivalent to climbing to the top of the Golden Gate Bridge. Know your limits, be prepared. Yeah, I didn't meet my limits, but I definitely breathe hard. They've got a sign for you here, Heather. Oh wow, the clouds are moving in. I think we're the mist, but we're basically at cloud level now. I just had some wisp of misty little puffs of air coming through the woods here. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera or not. There's a sign here for you talking about knowing your limits, how much elevation change is from the top to the bottom. You just climbed to the top of the Golden Gate Bridge. Okay. Seemed further than that.
Yeah. I did it, that's the point.
You did it.
I know it's slow, but...
You did it. Dun, 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 dun. The Ponca Wilderness Trails. Let's see. Hemden Hollow. We've been there before from the river, so we didn't hike to that. But that's the tallest waterfall between, I think, the Rockies and the Appalachians. And this bluff we just went to was supposedly the tallest bluff between the Rockies and the Appalachians. This is the 11,300 acre Ponca Wilderness. Wear sturdy footwear, check. Let someone know your plans, check. Hike with a companion, check. Carry water and a first aid kit. We carried water. We did not carry a first aid kit. Had some ibuprofen and stay away from sinkholes, wells, and mine shafts. Well, you know, I did walk up to one sinkhole, but I didn't get too close to it.
I did not find a mine shaft, but where was that and where I wanted to
I don't know. Bury human waste more than 100 feet from water. Well, thankfully we didn't have to deal with that today. Pack out all trash, check. Mechanized vehicles prohibited, none of that. Pets are not allowed on park trails. I did see one dog today, and he was at the Bluffs.
All right, so we went here.
We went from Centerpoint down to, there's actually a cutoff that it doesn't show here that comes down to the Bluff. But we went to the river ultimately, and then back up this trail to Granny's cabin, and then back around, and then back up Centerpoint.
Yeah. So I don't,
If we had gone to Compton, we would have went up this way.
Yeah, but I don't see any point where Granny's place is where we could have come back through.
No, there's no trail on the map showing that, so I don't see a loop. some of the YouTubers implied that there was a loop back from Granny's cabin back to the Centerpoint trail, but if there is, it's an unofficial loop, and we didn't feel like forging a trail today.
No, I'm not feeling that.
Stick with the things we know on the map. But I say we head towards Ponca and see if they got anything to eat there. If not, we'll keep going to Boxley Valley and go till we find some food. Cool. Let's see what this sign says up here. Parking lot's cleared out a little bit. We had to park across the road, pay money earlier. All right. This says 3 miles one way to Big Bluff, or 3.3 miles one way to Henderson House. So we did both. Duration, at least 4 hours. Well, you know, we left at 11:30 and here it is, what, 5:30?
Yeah, 5:30 straight up.
So we took 6 hours, but we did a lot of stops. We had lunch at the Bluff. We hung around and explored Granny's cabin.
And I'm
The
slow.
trail descends 1,200 feet. No cell service, delayed response times, extremely steep and extraneous inclines, sheer drops, blah, 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 blah. Several intersections with limited signage, no kidding. No dogs, no bikes, no radios, no drones.
Goat trail is here.
Pack at least 2 liters of water per person. We did that. Lots of snacks. Yep. Sturdy footwear. Well, we thought we did. Heather's shoes are falling apart. Detailed
Goat trail
topographic
down
map.
to the river.
Got one on my phone.
Back up. So we went down to the river. Where did you see all the? Oh, dude. Big Bluff, and then to Henderson House. Plus, we went to the river. Plus, we went down the old river trail.
Yeah, that was just a little,
That was just a little jump.
tiny little hitch there.
That was another hard one getting back up.
But the Sneed's Creek Trail, that's a horse trail. That's the one that goes by Granny's house. If we'd have kept going that way, that would have eventually taken us out to Compton, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Which is not where we need to be.
On to the truck. Good day.